Hello, everyone. This is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full time. I've been doing this with my fiance Annetta for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to talk about what we're shipping out today on Friday and a little bit that goes along with that. But if you saw my video yesterday, I spent a bunch of time last night searching for the item that I mislabeled or I never officially labeled. I did find it, so I was super excited because I was really bummed for most of the day. I still listed a ton of stuff. So this is it, the Clay Works by Heather Goldmick or something, Mink or something like that. Really cool thing. I don't want to take it out because there's the styrofoam. It's really tightly packed in there. This one did end up selling for, I have to scroll down, $16.87, so I get to ship this out on time. It was a really good end to the day, considering it started bad. All right, and then before I go through any of this stuff, we had actual zero sales for, I think it took all the way to 9 or 10 p.m. and I was listing really good stuff the whole time. So it was really weird. I know there's been a lot of weird stuff going on with eBay, but then some sales did come in and some chunky ones, a little bit kind of chunky, compared to $0. All right, the first thing right here is Frostpunk Frostlander expansion replacement board game cardboard tokens. I don't think these are a promo. So Frostpunk is a board game that kind of had this Blitz media campaign from Kickstarter, which is where people pay money for a game up front. Someone lets them know their idea, and eventually 1, 3, 5 years later, everyone gets their game. And at one point, they had a bunch of YouTubers just talking about this particular game. So I'm usually wary about those type of games, when there's a media blitz, because I haven't heard anything about it since until this item sold. So they must have had a printing error, and this was maybe something that they shipped out to hey, we messed this up, but we're going to ship these out as replacement pieces. But then, so I looked this up, the particular game, when I was at the storage unit. I could picture kind of the cover to it. It's a post-apocalyptic survival game, a co-op game where you're basically playing in the winter, and there's a bunch of mechanics and miniatures and stuff. You're on a hex map, I think. That's all I know about the game. But someone ended up spending $8 for this plus shipping. Everything's going to be plus shipping. It looked like it was highly rated, but I haven't heard anyone talk about the game since the media blitz. All right. Next up right here is this vintage, armored medieval knight little Tim Mee toy right here. He's a red one. He's a couple inches high. He's really cool. He has a shield and this axe. There's a lot of plate mail and stuff like that. He ended up selling for $10.12. All right. Next up is going to be a miniature model kit that I listed recently. I think I grabbed this recently one too. This is Charlestown Navy Yard Dry Dock #1. It's a miniature boat that goes onto the dock where it chills. Really cool miniature kit. It was missing one piece when I went through the instruction booklet. Usually when I get these things in bulk, there are a lot of things that are incomplete. It's not a big deal. Someone might just want all the pieces, or they can make it work without one piece missing. This ended up selling for $35.99. So that's what I mean by a chunkier sale for today. And then also yesterday, I was listing a lot of the board game bits and pieces for the incomplete board games I got. These right here is going to be, I think, almost the full complete tile set for Descent, Journeys in the Dark, 2nd edition, the Chains That Rust expansion. The whole expansion, if it's complete, goes for, I saw some sold for $225. I technically have that expansion, but I wanted to keep it. This was one that was missing a lot of the cards. It was missing the heroes. It still had the tiles. It still had the monsters, which are pretty cool. And then the box, and then the rule book, which has the campaign. It's a really cool fantasy game where you take out all these tiles and you play a campaign. Each mission's going to be different. There's heroes, and then there's an overlord. And an overlord's kind of like the dungeon master. They get to play traps and stuff. So usually you go through a full campaign. Both sides can upgrade. The heroes can upgrade. The overlord can get a bunch of plot cards. It's a lot of fun. These tile sets, mostly complete. It's just missing a couple. End up selling for $22. So that's pretty cool that listing something, someone grabs it right away. All right, next up is going to be from a repeat buyer. They got the Magic the Gathering. This is an empty deck builder's toolkit. This is for M10. So I remember I actually used to get these a bunch. This was a period of time in Magic when I was really into it. These deck builder toolkits were pretty cool because they were kind of a starter item. You get some booster packs from the recent sets when this was out. You get lands so you can make decks, and then you get a bunch of kind of semi-random commons and uncommons. Just they called it a deck builder toolkit. You can literally just see what cards were out at the time and then just mess with them and make a couple decks too. So that one was pretty cool. That ended up selling for $11.40, even as empty. All right. Moving along, we have this right here, the Chaos Crier issue number 0, February 2023. This is like an RPG zine, like a magazine type of thing. There's a bunch of like RPG little articles in there. I haven't seen or sold this type before. I think we just got one. There's like a little comic in the back. This sold for $13.19. Also listed this recently. So like a lot of these things that are selling, I've been listing recently. So it just feels good. It means that my like listing was relevant. I mean, it always is relevant, but it just feels good. All right, next up is going to be another empty box Pokemon TCG Evolutions. This is the red Charizard, what do they call them for Pokemon? Elite Trainer box. Sorry, this one is empty. Evolutions was kind of like a crazy set for 2020, 2021. It was kind of like a mock-up set for like the original base cards. And then like the packs and stuff for this got really expensive. Even the individuals, when the original set got expensive, so did these. So like this used to be kind of like a nostalgia set, and it originally wasn't worth too much, like the booster boxes and the cards. People love Charizard, so this box sold for $7. Nothing too crazy. If I actually had packs and stuff like that, that'd be worth a lot more. All right, next up, Maori. I think that's how you say this one. This is going to be a board game. This is sealed. It does have a seal rip. I did mention that in the description. This one sold for $40.50. I've had this one for many years. This I actually remember grabbing on clearance at a half price books for a couple dollars. The only reason why I grabbed it is because like used copies were, I forgot what the used copies were going for, but there were 0 that were sealed. So I was like, okay, I can kind of put whatever price I want on it, because like there are a lot of people that collect all types of board games, and then having like the only one on eBay for sealed was pretty cool. I don't know if there were more copies that were listed since then. I didn't really go back and check, but like I said, this sold for $40.50. I've never played that particular game, but it looks like a cool, it's by Rio Grande Games right here. They make a bunch of dryer like themed worker placements. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but people love that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool eventually that someone grabbed that and they're appreciating the sealed. All right, so that which one? All right, so that unfortunately is everything for today, but because some of these sales were chunkier, it feels a little bit better because like I said, at like 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. something yesterday, there was actual 0. I was like, wow, we never had a 0 sale day ever. All right, so thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I hope everyone has a good weekend.